You are now listening to Handsome Reads. Come along, friends. It's time we resume. Today is a waste no time, dive back into the thick of it kind of vibe as we discover what is to come of the young Abigail. Today's episode, titled The Band of Misfits, is set in the beautiful cliffside village of �絵𝐍𝐘𝐒, France. The office was quiet, save for the rhythmic ticking of the clock hanging against the wall. Seconds turned into minutes, increasing both Abigail's frustration and her anxiety. Her mother had always told her that her temper would one day land her in hot water, a statement motivating her to master self-control. Yet this old, miserable man with his booming voice and fiery eyes invited her furious side out to play. Beyond the door, she could still hear the sounds of the kitchen, butter sizzling in a welcome skillet, the thwack of knife on cutting board, and of course, chef's barked demands. Hearing the sounds intensify for a brief second, as Madame 𝐵𝐔𝐒 opened the door to the office, Abigail straightened her spine before assuming a neutral expression. The door closed with a gentle snick, taking with it the comfort of the kitchen. Behind her, she heard the rustling of Madame 𝐵𝐔𝐒, shrugging out of her chef's jacket before coming around to take the seat behind the desk. The bags beneath her eyes did nothing to diminish the slender woman's elegant finish, or to hide the sharpness that looked out from behind gold-rimmed spectacles. Steepling her fingers, Madame 𝐵𝐔𝐒 leaned back in her seat, eyes switching from the young woman before her to the happenings in the kitchen in the background. What are the ingredients in a poulet de Provençal? The head chef asked softly, resting her forearms on the hand-carved mahogany of her desk. Olive oil, balsamic vinegar, shallot, cremini mushrooms, chicken breast halves. Abigail paused her checklist as she saw her boss hold up her hand. What was that? Chicken breast halves, madam. Would you say chicken is important to a poulet de Provençal? Madame 𝐵𝐔𝐒 asked with a twinkle to her eyes. Oui, chef. Madame 𝐵𝐔𝐒 paused before continuing. Why are you here? 𝐵𝐔𝐒 saw the young cook's shoulders stiffen, even as her chin tilted slightly. To learn from one of the best culinary minds in the world, the young woman replied. There are many of us worldwide. There was no need to find you in the French countryside with nothing other than a rudimentary French vocab, 𝐵𝐔𝐒 replied, removing the spectacles before rubbing the bridge of her nose. I will ask again. Why are you here? What does it matter? I'm fired anyway, right? Abigail's neutral expression slipped for a moment as fire bled into her words. 𝐵𝐔𝐒 smiled at Abigail's horrified expression, seeing nothing more than a talented but troubled adolescent before her. You have a job here as long as you would like, Abby. May I call you Abby? Oui, chef. Now, over the duration of your stay here, you shall get to know us better and vice versa. In the meantime, Remy will be your designated French teacher. Merci beaucoup. Merci, chef. The cook replied. I mean, Madame 𝐵𝐔𝐒. Either title is fine. Madame 𝐵𝐔𝐒 dismissed the apology, coming to place a hand on Abigail's shoulder. We each have our own story. However, you will not be cuddled in my kitchen. Do you understand? Understood, chef. Gigi clapped cheerfully. Good. Now that unpleasantness is over, you can return to work. Food is energy, and energy is food. And we don't serve bad food at Le Sanctuaire. Smiling at the absence of tension across the young cook's shoulders, Gigi shrugged back into her chef's jacket before pulling the sliding door. Oh, and by the way, try not to hold chef's voice against him. He hates me, doesn't he? Abigail asked with a bowed head. Poor child. He spent his formative years aboard sea-going vessels. All those whistles, alarms, and horns, they did nothing but damage his hearing. Not to mention, added some flavor to his language. Gigi laughed softly, a melodic ripple of sound as the gold of her spectacles caught the light. Not to worry, you will get to know the rest of the band in due time. The band? The band of Misfits, Madame Gigi replied with a smile, ushering her newest employee back into the myriad of sounds coming from the kitchen. Chef barked for a required side dish. Remy responded while continuing his ministrations. Mogul continued at the washing station. Be sure to apologize before you return to your station, Gigi called over her shoulder. Madame Gigi Sonnet stopped at each station throughout the kitchen to check on her band members, nudging Margot with her elbow before smiling at the face he made in response. She captured a kiss Remy blew her way before placing the imaginary gift into her breast pocket. She punched Chef in the meat of his arm, scampering through the door as he shouted at her to behave. Best job ever, Gigi thought to herself as she walked out into the dining area, greeting customers, both regular and new. End of episode. You know, it's a new season, folks, which means an opportunity for us to continue spreading the word of relaxing sounds of your handsome narrator, this guy right here, to the parish, the friends, and the family. Whether it's through a WhatsApp message, Facebook, Instagram, smashing the like button on YouTube, posting on TikTok. Listen, we have so many options to help make Army of Sin a success. Do you think we have what it takes? I know I certainly do. So certain that I look forward to seeing you right back here for more handsome reads. Army of Sin. Until next time, and as always, love and light.